All right, welcome back, everybody. This is Little Cheddar, and we're in the middle of match number 1, as you already know, of the quarterfinals between this guy right over here, Mr. Troy Iloncaie, and that guy out there right now, Mr. Vincent Didio. Welcome to your own player spotlight, Troy. How do you think you're doing in the match?
How am I gonna do in this match tonight? Is that what you're asking?
No, how do you think you're doing right now?
Uh,
That's not the question I asked. You're doing well, aren't you?
I am. I'm doing okay. Just trying to stay mentally focused out there and not try to let anything hold me back if I make a bad shot or something. I'm just trying to stay mentally focused and try not to let that get to me. So.
Sure. Talk right into that a little bit more if you don't mind. Yeah, that way everybody can kind of hear you.
All right.
So, who's Troy Iloncaie? Where do you come from? Where do you live? What brought you to varsity club?
All right. Well, we moved to Pickett about 25 years ago.
When you say we, you're married?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Been married for I think it's 31 years now. So, but we moved out there a long time ago, and we just been staying in the area ever since. So
Okay.
we really like the area.
Let's talk about. So, when was your first time at varsity club? Just kind of curious.
I think about 7 years ago or so, because 6 or 7 years ago, I came back to pool, and I was playing over at Kendall's place,
The magnet.
the Magnet.
Yep.
I was over there with Roger Pregler, and then when he moved up to Appleton, when Kendall moved up to Appleton,
Mm-hmm.
we started shooting league here, and I think that was 6 years ago. But yeah, it's really been a great place to play at, and I really like the people and all the entire pool community.
It's a very
That's-
positive atmosphere here
It
for
sure
the
is.
most part.
Yep.
Yeah. So, when it comes to pool, how many years have you been playing? Well, actually, here, let's do this. Why don't we just slide that on over there, and I'll let you give a description as to. So, yep, you've been playing for 26 years. What got you started in pool?
Well, actually, I've been playing longer than that, but competitively for about 7 years. I started when I was 7 years old, and
That's young.
My dad had an 8-foot table that he had in the basement, and I would play on that thing religiously when I was younger. He would take me into the bars with him to play 3-ball against his friends, and when I would win, he would get $5 and I would get a candy bar.
Sweet.
So that's kind of how that whole thing started for me.
Sounds like he came out on the winning end there.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I played league a couple years back in the mid 80s, and then got away from it, and then just kind of casual playing for a number of years. Came back competitively 7 years ago.
Sure. I've seen your game progress quite a bit over, I would say, like the last 2 or 3 years. You've seemed to have developed a new focus for the game itself, and it seems like you're putting a lot of time in practice and just trying to get better on the mental side. I mean, some of the basics of pool, but more the mental side of it. And there's a lot of people that have been talking about the improvement of Troy Iloncaie.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that.
So,
yeah, I play pretty much every night. I mean, if I'm not down here, I'm in my basement playing.
and you're still married.
And I'm still married.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. It is amazing. Yeah, she lets me get away with a lot of stuff. So.
Sure. So let's talk about these 3 matches. That first of all, what does it mean for you to be in 1.1 and have gotten to this far? Did you think you'd make it to the quarterfinals?
I had no idea. I didn't really think about it. I just wanted to show up and play, try to do my best. So I mean, I'm just taking it one match at a time here.
Okay.
The next goal is always to win the next match. So
Absolutely.
that's where I'm sitting.
So against Sean Johnson, Michael Parker, Nick Brodesky, what would you say was the most memorable of those, or is there a defining moment in just one of those matches that got you to this point,
I
or
think,
an incredible shot, or
well, I think it was maintaining my composure um, when I started to slip a little bit with some of the shots I was making. I was playing against Nick, and great guy by the way,
yeah,
and I was ahead of him I think 4 games, and then I think he got it to within one or so, and it was getting closer to the end of the match, but I didn't panic. I think I was able to show myself that I was able to maintain my composure
mm-hmm.
and try to and just keep shooting well, even though I had taken a step back a little bit. But
Sure.
I was able to come out on top on that one, and that was probably could be my most memorable moment as far as shooting. But again, just meeting. I never met Sean before. I never met Michael before. I've seen Michael.
Michael Parker.
Yeah,
Yep.
great guy. All 3 of them are great guys.
That's
Can't
been
say
the cool thing about this knockout challenge is, we started out with 64 players. Probably 30 of them I've never met before, until they sign up
Yeah.
or until they were here at Varsity Club or wherever. So
Right.
it's been a really cool experience.
And they're coming from all over the place.
Yeah.
I know that Nick, I think, was in Illinois, but I think he was shooting out of Beloit. And then he was working in Madison, and he came all the way
Yeah.
up for the matches. We had a heck of a time trying to schedule it too. So between his work and my work.
Yeah, that's one of another fun thing for the knockout challenge is just getting the matches scheduled themselves, but seems to be working out pretty well so far. So outside of pool, is there anything that Troy Islandsea likes to do that doesn't resemble married life or doesn't resemble family or anything, or pool at all?
I do a lot of bow hunting. I'm behind this year because of some circumstances that came up that didn't allow me to get, ready.
Yep.
I've been bow hunting since I was 16. Haven't missed a year. I just love it. I just love getting out there, being in the quiet, but there's so much going on. Even though it's quiet, there's so many things to see.
Yep.
This time
Used
of
to do
year,
a lot of hunting myself. I miss it.
This time of year, you might see some mosquitoes, which sucks, but
And bees and wasps
Yeah.
and
yeah.
yeah.
But I'll have to get out there very soon.
So going back to what you had said earlier, would you say that your dad was your biggest influence in pool,
He
or do you
got-
have a favorite player that you look up to, or has been your biggest influence?
Yeah, so my dad got me started, but he never really was I didn't learn the right way.
Okay.
I just kind of did everything by feel, and we didn't have YouTube back then.
Nope.
And but I just all the different people that I've met since I've came back to pool again. I think the biggest influence on me has been Larry Neville. I did get an opportunity to train with him over several weeks. He just showed me so much cool stuff related to pool, and then little tricks here and there that you can kind of apply to the game. But he
And
was
what a
just
great teacher.
He was just amazing
Yeah.
to watch.
Great person to learn from.
And just trying to emulate some of the things he did it's impossible for probably 99% of the people, because he's just so good at what he did.
Sure. So, what in preparation for tonight's match? There's a lot of money on the line. We're going from $570. I think this is about a $600 match, and that's without the player auction, roughly. Is there anything that you do to mentally prepare for bigger matches or bigger tournaments?
I just try to stay within myself. I don't look at Fargo rates. I don't look at records. I try to just more or less stick to my game plan, and I do come up with a game plan.
Okay.
it's just something that once you start thinking about all these other things, it takes away from the actual game itself. So if you can come up with a game plan, which I do, and then stick to that, and that
Mm-hmm.
includes practicing leading up to the match. It doesn't really matter who you're playing, but I mean, you should factor that into it, I guess. But it's you don't want to get stuck doing something because you're thinking about the wrong things.
Makes sense.
So I really try to stick to a plan if I can help it.
Awesome. Well, I hope you're doing well out there. I hope you're having a great match. And again, congratulations to making it to the quarterfinals.
Thank you.
It's pretty cool to see some of the locals here, that have, and you got some guys cheering you on here tonight. So that'll be
Yeah,
pretty exciting.
Here. Yep. Yep.
So thank you very much for doing the player spotlight. I greatly appreciate it, and good luck out there.
All right. Thank you very much.